Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. On this one, super exciting. We finally get to find out if the little SR VCT that came with the S13 shell has good compression or not. So let's get it all hooked up and let's find out for sure.
Tell me, is it whack up in the air? Rapping scattered off the gear. I can map him, yeah, he is like a tracker. Get distracted, send him back like in the mail. Not a fraction of them real. Catch him like and run the drill. Running through the shit like a motherfucking day.
Alright, so if you guys aren't familiar, I swapped my Mazda RX-7 FC3 for an S13 shell that's in really good condition that I haven't even really looked at yet. It's still sitting out there. I've got so much stuff going on. But what we are doing today, it also came with an sr20 det VCT in unknown condition. Running, but supposedly has low compression on one cylinder. So what we're going to do is find out if it does or not. So fingers crossed it's good. If it's not, then it's not the end of the world, because it was definitely a bonus to get this with the shell, because the shell on its own is worth a few bucks. So if this is good, man, I don't know what I'm going to do. But let's just get into it. So the SR20 is here. I don't know too much about these, to be honest. Already it's a lot different to an RB, obviously. It's a lot shorter. It's got a chain inside the engine, which is pretty crazy looking. I'm full noob, so don't get too carried away with the insults, but nah, just go for gold. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. I'm going to put this rocker cover back on there, bolt it down so it's on there, and then we're going to stand it up, make sure there's oil in it. I'm going to get I don't need a clutch, I just need a bell housing, but over here in the SR freaking factory, like literally the SR factory over here, guys, SR20 4 days in Xavier's Exhibit A. So he's got these new shelving things going on, which is really cool because he's maximizing his space. But yeah, he's got SRs just sitting around. None of them work, obviously, and gearboxes, none of them work, obviously. So it's kind of a bit of a trend. Don't worry, if he was here, I'd hang just as much shit on SRs as when he's not here. He's actually rebuilding his SR right now. It's going to be forged, so that's cool. And we're 1 week out from Matsuri. So anyway, if you guys want to follow that, check out his TikTok. He's filming all that jazz. So Xavier was kind enough to lend us a SR20 gearbox. So I'm going to grab this one, take it over there, bolt it up with a starter motor, because yeah, the only reason why I need a whole gearbox is just for the starter motor. So that bolts onto the engine, which will turn. I need a flywheel. I didn't ask him about a flywheel. Sure, there's a flywheel around here somewhere, and I'll bolt that on as well, and then we can short the starter motor with a screwdriver. You go bap, and it will just turn the engine over, and then we'll have the comp test in there. Obviously, pull the spark plugs out, put it in, and we'll see what comp it is. So I'm gonna set that up now, and hopefully it doesn't take too long because it's freaking late at night. So let's get stuck into it. If you haven't already, hit the like button. Drop a comment below on if you think the SR20 is going to be good or bad. Put in the comments now and then come back after. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. Let's get stuck into it. I just picked up the rocker cover and noticed it had a freaking Greddy oil cap on there. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. And it's ready for paint too. Sort of ready. But yeah, basically these are all the parts you're going to need. You're going to need an SR20, a gearbox, some bolts, flywheel, starter motor, some more bolts, compression tester, and a battery. So what I'm going to do, you also, to make it easier, engine crane, get that over here, get that up off the ground a little bit so it holds it, and then slide this gearbox on. We'll put the flywheel on, slide the gearbox on, starter motor, and then we see what we get. Fingers crossed. Okay, so I stood the little SR up on the engine crane there, whacked the flywheel on, just put a couple of bolts in there because it's just going to be spinning and it's not under like hectic load or anything like that with a clutch or whatnot. This is going to be the tricky part, getting the gearbox on there. It's all about having the right angle and it aligned. So if you've never put a gearbox on before, there's this input shaft here which has these splines on it, and that has to line up usually with the clutch. So this is going to be piss easy. It's just going to slide straight in there. Actually, this is going to be freaking awesome. So good. Gearbox is on, starter motor on. Now I just got to take the spark plugs out, check to make sure there's oil in there, and then yeah, hook up 12 volts to the battery, short it out, and yeah, see what it does. I don't know if I should like try and strap it down to something. Like, I don't know how much it's going to move, but I've done this with an RB25 before with Dad, but I can't remember exactly. It was like so long ago. It was like 6 years ago. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure we had it up on a bench and like maybe strapped it to the bench. But anyway, let's see what this does. So exciting now. So exciting. Alright, so I've got this sasas set up here with some jumper leads. Just the earth cable onto the block, and then positive onto the starter motor positive terminal. Apparently it's called an exciter. I thought it was called a igniter, but I don't know about these car things, man. Last time Xavier told me I was wrong about a tool. He didn't directly say that, but he called it a wobbly and I call it a freaking knuckle. So turns out a lot of people call it a wobbly and no one calls it a knuckle. But anyway, it could be an exciter, so we're gonna go with that. Apparently that's what it is. Get a screwdriver, short it across there, and it should go do-do-do-do-do-do. And yeah, just gotta chuck this compression tester in there first. See what we got. When I took the spark plugs out, they were pretty black. 2 of them were like covered in oil, but I think it's just because it was like laying on its side. So we'll start with this one. This is the back one. So this is the one on RBs that go bad. So we'll just see what we got here with this one, eh? Alright, so I've got this dodgy ass setup over here, so I'm not going to show you. But you can watch the gauge and let's see how many PSIs we get. Let's go. We've got a freaking hole. I got to block up this hole. There's oil pissing out here, so I'm guessing that's like the oil feed. Yeah, that would have been made sense to block that hole. Damn it. Okay, so we spilled oil everywhere, and I found out when I had a look at one of Xavier's engines, and I was missing the oil filter, and it's got this housing here, so it's got it in and out, comes out into the filter, back into the engine. So now, take 2, we should be good to go. Let's have another go here. Okay, so that's not a good start. It's 50 PSI on the first one. Shit, mate, that's like 0 compression. Well, I should have started with the other end. Shit me. Ah well, that was a good deal anyway. Let's have a go at this one. It turns over fine. It's always good. Let's have a go of, I think this is a cylinder 3, because I started at the back for some reason. Let's have another go. The engine doesn't really rock anywhere, which is cool. Oh yeah. So that's better. That's like 140 something, close to 150. Oh, we got oil pissing out this side now. That one's low as well. It's like 90. Alright, cylinder 1, hopefully we got some oil still in it. Oh shit, that's the highest one. 150. So it's like 150, 145-ish, 150. So it gets worse as you go. Okay then. Okay, so the little SR is not too healthy. I'm pretty sure I did everything correctly. I know there's different tests you can do to find out what the actual issue is. But the first cylinder has like 150, 155, and then it goes 145, and then down to 100, and then down to 50. So yeah, she needs a rebuild. Definitely not a good SR. That's alright. I didn't pay money for it, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I don't know. I might rebuild it and then put it in a car, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Still haven't decided. I haven't processed it, but at least now we know the little SR, bad compression. Bet you the guy, James actually his name is. I wonder, hopefully James is watching this, so he'll be a lot more relieved now, because he was definitely dreading it being a good engine. So yeah, mate, it's all good. It just needs a rebuild. It turns over sweet. I'm going to pull it back down now because Xavier is probably going to assemble his engine tomorrow, so he needs his bits and pieces. So I'll get them off, put them back where I got them from, and yeah, massive thanks to you, Xavier, for letting me borrow your SR parts, mate. Appreciate that. Without that, I'd have even more oil on the ground. But yeah, I'm going to pull it down and call it a night. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you guys were wrong in the comments. No. I hope you guys were right in the comments, thinking that it needs a rebuild. And yeah, it's too good to be true. Too good to be true. You couldn't get a perfectly good SR in that kind of a deal. But that's alright. Yeah, I'll figure out what I'm going to do and I'll let you guys know. So take it easy. I'll see you on the next episode.